Okay, so let's start. And once more, thank you guys for joining us this evening or morning, whatever, like wherever you are. So today we will talk about how to quickly understand where and how a field is used in Salesforce. And this will be as a part of an answer why every Salesforce administrator should use an ID. And my name is Vladimir. I'm head of product at the Welkin Suite. At the same time, I'm head of Salesforce department in our parent company. So I'm working every day with more than 30 developers. And it seems like I know some of the pains that developers and administrators feel in their day-to-day tasks. So let's take a look at what we will see today and what I will cover today. So first of all, I just want to stress that it will be a pretty short demonstration, so we aim for about 20 minutes, and of course there will be questions and answers. So our goal here is to provide you some focused insights on how you can use proper and nice tools to boost your administrative tasks in Salesforce. So what we will talk about? What is the Welkin Suite? Like, it will be really a minute. Why it's awesome for administrators. I will provide you a demonstration of an answer on how to answer the questions that we've asked at the title of the webinar. And at the end, we will have 5 or maybe 7 minutes of questions and answers. If you have any questions while I show or while I talk, just don't be shy to ask them in the questions pane. I will try to sometimes look at questions pane and answer, or I will address all of these questions at the end of the demonstration. But beforehand, if you don't mind, guys, let us spend like about a minute just for both of us to be introduced. So if you don't mind, I will start a small poll just to know who you are and how to be better for me to address this demonstration. I can restructure it as we go. So depending on your answers, I will try to do my best to keep you interested. Okay, so thanks for this poll, and one more very quick poll again, next 30 seconds, so I will know if you have ever heard or seen the Welkin Suite before. Great, and thank you very much, guys. So then we'll keep it short about the Welkin Suite itself, and we'll focus a bit more on the functionality. But again, I have to say that, what is the Welkin Suite? The Welkin Suite, it's an ID, and it's integrated development environment, but don't be scared about its name. It stands for both developers and administrators, because from my point of view, personally, administrators in Salesforce are as well developers. You always work with automations, you work with data model, you work with permissions. All of this stuff, it's very complex and it's pretty complicated. It's not something just I've made 10 clicks and I'm administrator. No, it's a whole lot of knowledge, experience, and it's a very complex task. And with all this administrative declarative functions in Salesforce, we develop and build Salesforce solutions. So honestly, all of us are somehow developers. This is why the Welkin Suite is an ID. It's built for both those who are called usually in Salesforce administrators and those who are called developers. Why the ID is cool for administrators? Because it provides you some pretty cool features to empower you during your day-to-day tasks. So instead of doing this tasks in the Salesforce UI, doing them one by one, we have optimized a lot of our features and processes to work in bulk, for bulkified operations. We have provided a great dashboard and control panels for different admin functionalities, so you'll feel almost like at home, almost like as a Salesforce setup menu, but with a bit more power under the hood. But let's stop talking and looking at PowerPoint, and let me show you why we have gathered here today. So I will stop sharing my webcam because it might be not the best case. We've gathered here to look at the ID, not at my face. So here we are. Right now I have the Welkin Suite opened. Let's pretend that I have opened it for the first time. And in the first time, the Welkin Suite asks me what is the preferred layout for me. As right now we are focusing like more on the declarative development and administering, I will just click this option, so it will hide all unneeded panels and it won't scare me anymore. Okay, so we have a plain screen. Let me just open one of my demonstration projects and let's just jump in straight into working with fields, where and how they are used. So the main part of the Welkin Suite UI when you're working like with the declarative development functionality, it's the admin panel. We have tried to make it somehow similar to the Salesforce's setup menu, and it shows you like objects manager. I'd say we are more of like classic view of Salesforce. So it shows you the full list of your S objects on the organization, both standard and custom ones, as well as some additional functionality for each of them, like lists of fields, layouts, workflow rules, validation rules. I will just hit here load all data. It will take about 5 seconds, but after that I will have all of this information loaded for each object. So like whatever object I would like to work with, it will work immediately. I like browsing different pages in Salesforce. So let's say we would like to know why and like or how and where our field, like some certain field for from an object is used. Why we can have this question, why it can arise in our daily tasks. For example, we need to delete a field. It's like a not very common option, but still sometimes we need to delete a field, and it will be better if you understand what are the consequences of deleting this field, what might be broken, what might need your attention after you have deleted this field. We would like potentially to limit access to this field to some users, for example, just to like modify FLS for some profiles, just to remove that field from their point of view at all. We might be interested in, let's say, links between different fields. For example, in our experience, we've had a lot of cases when we were taking over some project from other development team, and it was a nice challenge for us to understand all of the links and dependencies in a project between objects, between fields, and how different things are worked together. So there is like pretty much reasons why you might need to see how and when, where your field is used. So I've had a like small chat recently in LinkedIn, and a couple of guys like proposed me 2 like most commonly used options on how you take a look where your field is being used. First of them is more of like developer approach, and it's, I believe, the most common approach. It's looking for like just searching through your projects, through your organization for a field name and looking where it's used. So let me scroll to opportunity, and our victim today will be opportunity amount field. So let me just open search. I will type in here amount, and let's see what we will have if we will use this like pretty good old approach of looking for some text in the whole project. So in total, you see that I have pretty much occurrences of this word. So we have 143 occurrences of word amount, and as you might see, it just covers everything like tax amount field, some labels. It even like got some IDs from the Visualforce page. I'm really not interested in. It's not like usage of the amount field, and I will be really even surprised if you get less than 5,000 occurrences of the ID field. So if suddenly, in some case, you need to take a look where and how your certain, I don't know, opportunity.name is used in the like organization, you'll have issues. Because for the ID field, I have 5,000 matches, and if I will look for name, I will get even more, I believe. So I got 4,000 matches. Really, like, good luck trying to understand how your opportunity.amount is used or opportunity.name is used in this organization. You'll just die looking through all of these find results. In our case, in the Welkin Suite, there is a like really very simple but very powerful tool at the same time. So I can just right-click on any field in the admin panel, and there is a very simple button called Open Field Usage Report window. Once I click this button, it will take about 10 seconds. It's not so scary, but as a result of this like 10 seconds, I will get clear answer on where my field is used, and afterwards I will be able to answer how and why it's being used there. So let's take a look in more details about this field usage report. So what do we have here? On the left side, we have a preview of all of the usages of the amount field. In my case, it's 52 usages. I will get back to this part later, but now let's focus on the right part of the screen. So as you might know, guys, there is a lot of different places, a lot of different, let's say, metadata types or locations, as I call them, where a field can be used. It can be used in Apex, it can be used in approval processes, in formulas, in default values, in validation rules. It might be used in report types, in process builder, lots of field, locations. And just to be clear and 100% transparent with you, we are showing you the full list of places or locations where we are searching for these fields. So it's not a plain text search. We are taking into account all of the different tricks of how Salesforce references to fields in different locations. So we are applying some intelligent logic to looking for these fields in different locations. So right now, at this moment, we are looking for fields in Apex classes and triggers, in approval processes, and everywhere. So you can see what different types of locations we can separate in approval processes, like page fields, entry criteria, email templates, final and initial and recall actions and rejection actions, step approval actions, step rejection actions, all of the email templates, fields and on layouts, related lists, but we are not right now handling related list sort field. So yeah, sorry for that, but it will be later, added somehow later. For S objects, we are looking in compact layouts, default values, dependent pick lists, field sets, formulas, default values, lookup filters, but we are not looking right now at web links. But honestly, I don't believe that it's so commonly used item. Anyway, we will add it. And of course, we are checking in validation rules, workflow rules, report types, and reports. But unfortunately, right now, we do not search for fields usage in reports that are based on standard report types. It's not because we don't want. We really would like to do this. We want to do this very much, but Salesforce strangely, let's say, provides us XML for reports based on standard report types, so we are not able to find out this at the moment, but we will fix it later. So as you can see, right now we are looking in more than, I'd say, 40 different locations, and we are providing you a comprehensive report on where and how in details. So let's take a look. So my opportunity.amount is used 52 times, and by default we are grouping your items by as objects where they are related to. So we have account, campaign, contact, and opportunity. So these 4 objects are linked at least through the amount field. Also on the same level, we see that we have a bunch of Apex classes, email templates, report types, and reports. Let's go through all of this stuff in details. Once I enter, expand subtype, I can see details, for example, in what layouts my field is used. So here it's shown in the layout related lists. I believe everywhere here it's the same. In campaign as well, it's only shown in the campaign layout. For the contact, it's the same magic. In the opportunity, for the layouts, it's also used in all of the layouts. And for each of the layouts, we can clearly see that it's used in what section it is mentioned, in the other information and everywhere else in the opportunity information. Once I click on a layout name itself, where it is, here we are. So once I click on a layout itself, I will see the full list of fields that are shown in that layout. Field, section, and if it's editable, read-only, or required. Separately, I will see a list of hidden fields. If I click on the deepest node, I will see details it's editable, amount, and some other actions. If I will take a look at other types of locations where we were looking for this field, so this field is used in entry criteria for the change of by amount approval process. It's a formula field. It's used in the final rejection action, and it's used in the set dummy amount value action. So we are setting amount of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the amount field. It's used in my own compact layout. It's included in one of the field sets. It's used in one formula. I can see formula clearly here. It's used in another formula, and I can also see this formula right here. It's used in some of the list views, and also I can see how exactly it's used in each of the list views. So it's just a simple list view column. It's used in validation rules. Again, for each of the validation rules, we are looking for different locations. So, for example, for non-negative amounts, it's just in the error condition formula. But at the same time, for two other validation rules, it's used as both error condition formula and as error location. For workflow rules, you might guess that we have pretty the same approach. So it's used in two workflow rules. In first of them, it's used in both alert, so it's email alert, and it's somewhere in the template. And it's also used as a criteria, so amount is greater than 100,000. In the second workflow rule, it's just used in the field update, so I believe it's just an action. Important thing here to note that you can always click on any node here, just double click on it, and you will get navigated to it in the editor directly. So you'll be just on that place where this field is used. So right here in the email template, it's used here. If I will click on the error location, I will be right here on the validation rule definition in my XML file. If I will open Apex classes, I can see that it's used in two different Apex classes. I see exactly a line of code, and I can double click on it just to investigate it and understand if it's just for testing purposes or it just does something meaningful. Yep, answering the question, does it show flow process builder as well? Not yet. So I know that especially with all the improvements to process builders, to flows, they're getting more and more involved, they're getting better and better, and we have to add support for both flows and process builder into the field usage report, and we will do it. I believe, and I'm pretty sure that we will do it by the end of the summer. I hope even that by the end of July. Okay, let's get back here. So we also show you email templates, report types, and reports. As well, for reports, we are showing you all of the different ways how a field can be used in a report. So if it's used as a part of a chart, if it's used as a grouping field, if it's just shown in a report, you can see all of these details right here. Another thing that I want to show you in the field usage report, let me just collapse it. So as I've highlighted in the beginning, we right now, here everything is grouped by objects first. But I can always switch from the object view to a type view, and in this way I will see types, let's say, of usage first. So I can see that it's used in layouts, and now I can see in details how it's used in layouts for each of the objects. The same for list views, let's say, and etc., etc. Why does this make any sense? For me, it makes good sense when I am trying to discover if a field influences anything in the organization, or it's just like a handy, useful displayed field that we are just displaying for users, but it doesn't participate in any, let's say, business logic. It's not used as a part of our profit calculators, it's not used as our approval processes, it's not used in our formulas. It's just shown in reports. It might be used in some, I don't know, fields, in layouts, and nothing else. So when I switch to the type view, I can clearly see types of usage of this field. So it's used in Apex, in approvals, it's used in formulas, it's used in lookups, in rollup summary, in validations, and workflow rules. Absolutely clear that this field somehow influences our business logic in the organization. It's not just a display field, it really is involved in some business logic. And if I switch back to the object view, I can somehow see dependencies and links between different objects. So I can see that account somehow, in terms of business logic, is related with opportunity via the amount field. While companion contact, no, there is no logic here, it's just layouts. So account, yeah, it depends on the opportunity. Okay, so I hope it was interesting and helpful. And let me switch to Salesforce for a second to highlight you a second way, second suggestion I've got on LinkedIn how to check where the field is used. So one of the classical options to see how your field is used is try to delete it in Salesforce. So I opened opportunity. I will scroll to my new dummy tax amount field, and I will try to delete it. So of course it won't allow me to delete a field if it's used somewhere heavily. So in my case, it's used in validation rule, in custom formula, in Apex class, in field read lookup, and workflow rules. That's it. That's what you've got from Salesforce. So these are only important things that Salesforce notifies you about. Let me get back to the Welkin Suite. Let me find this tax amount and open a field usage report for it. So what do we see here? We see, again, the same Apex. We see validations and workflows. Okay, it's pretty clear. We see formula fields. We see that it's in compact layout. It might be not as important, but okay, like who cares? But it's used in email template. I don't believe that a new customer will be happy if you receive an email with a placeholder instead of tax amount. And I believe no one will be happy when they will get some such kind of bugs reported from the end users. And the second part is even more important. We've spent hours dealing with such cases in our development practice. So this field is used in one report type and is used at least in one report. Usually I believe it's I don't need to explain that users tend to create reports. We've chatted with Welkin Suite users who have tens of thousands of reports. It's a painful thing, but if users benefit from reports, why not creating them? And Salesforce just completely ignores if a field is used in a report. In my case, if I will delete this tax opportunity, okay, I will remove it from Apex, I will remove it from validations workflows, but it will just break my report. And okay, it's just my user, it's just my report, but what if it's some important field, somehow important for someone, and it was used in 500 reports? You as a developer, as administrator, will have to fix all these reports. You have to chat with all these people. Really? It's not good. You just need to avoid this. So before doing something important to fields, before trying breaking something, changing something, deleting something, the more information you have about how it's used, the safer your future is. And in our case, the Welkin Suite field usage report provides a bit more information compared to Salesforce, and you can always just very quickly see how it's used there. So such kind of tool will save a lot of your time when dealing with your data model, and I hope and I believe that it will save you from some wasted time in the future. So that was, I hope, quick. As usual, I went over the time, so it's my common practice. And thank you for the attention. I hope it was helpful. If you would like to get a demonstration of the Welkin Suite, of any kind of any area of the Welkin Suite for your team, company, meetup, for yourself, just feel free to let us know in the demo@welkinsuite.com. And right now, let's switch to questions and answers, and I will do my best to answer all of your questions. Okay, so let's answer in the order of appearance. So question from Justin, does the 2ID layouts have unique panels, or can you use any panel on either layout? So it's a good question. It doesn't matter if you use admin layout or developer layout, you have the same functionality. We don't block any kind of functionality for you. We don't forbid anything. It's just initial layout. We just try to make it less aggressive in admin layout and a bit more aggressive in developer layout. Of course, you can always rearrange panels, you can drag new panels, and you can do whatever you want with how the ID looks like. It's just initial, I'd say, hint from us how we see this layout. Very nice question. So, yep, field usage by layouts looks amazing. Yep, great, thank you. But tricky question, can we export these results in CSV format or in any other format so we can share it with anyone? Unfortunately, no, at the moment. It might be tricky to export this stuff to a CSV format, but with almost all of our admin functionality, we've realized that admins need to export this data to somewhere, just to share it with someone, just to leave for their records. So I believe that we will try to focus on adding export functionality to the field usage report, as well as to all other admin-related features. I won't promise that this will happen very fast, but again, till the end of summer, maybe somewhere in August, not in July. but like, yeah, we'll try to work on it. Okay, question from Roberto. So could you search on the API name as well? In general, so let me just get back to the admin panel. We are not like searching by the like API name or anything else. Like in the admin panel, we are showing you by default API name of each field. So you can always switch to a field label view. If you're dealing with customers, I believe it's a bit more preferred way of doing stuff. But like field usage report does everything for you. So you don't need to think if it's like API name, if it's I don't know, label, if it's anything else, we'll search it in appropriate places with appropriate ways of searching. So where needed, like for example, you can see that in a report, it's not dot, it's a like dollar symbol between opportunity and like object name and the field name. So we like take care of all of these differences and we perform automatic search everywhere where we look for. Hope this answers. Okay, so question from Eric. For reports, does it show filter usage for reports both based on standard and custom report types? Let me just check it for a second. I believe that yep, we search in filters, but let me ensure. So I have a report. Yep, so you can see that like opportunity amount is used in chart as a grouping and as a report filter. But again, the same limitation applies, so we are looking only in reports that are based on custom report types. Like for now, we don't see a way how we can enable it like for standard report types quickly. But yeah, so we look like in whatever way you can use a field in a report. Okay, nice question from Justin. It's not about this webinar, but I just have to show it. So, do you have plans to make a query creator? Eclipse IDE has really nice functionality to use the preview like an admin panel to build a query. Okay, just give me 2 seconds and I will show how to do this in the Welkin Suite. And this is one of the points where we think that it's helpful for admins as well, because if you don't know SQL, you don't need to learn it. You don't need to like ping developers to build a query for you. You just do it yourself very quickly. So let me just create a query, demo query tool. And exactly as Justin said, on the right side, we have a tree view with all of the objects. And I can very easily and very quickly select whatever fields I want to get from these objects. To be name, and as well as from their related lists, I'd say. So if I want to get accounts with all of their cases, it's very easy. Just like, I don't know, case number, ID, origin, execute, and here we can see the results. I can see the results, I can modify results. So in the Welkin Suite, we allow you modifying results. If you've selected ID, I can just double click here and modify TVS to the Welkin Suite. I can open child cases, see them right here in line, instead of having like a JSON like in Eclipse. We parse this and provide you a nice subtable. Once I'm done, just hit upload changes, all's good, re-execute the query, and here are my results. Here you are. So yeah, not related to the topic of this webinar, but still had to answer. So question from Seth, is there support for managed objects? Honestly, I don't remember. Let me just take a look at it quickly. Looks like nope. So at the moment, no, and I will even note this to myself, so we need to put some attention here. And yeah, so right now we do not support here managed objects, but it's a very good point for us to do in one of the next releases. Thank you, Seth. Question from Roberto, can I search dynamically created code or SQL? So for dynamically created code, if you are referencing to like kind of reflection, I don't remember how it's in Apex, I believe no, but if you take but about SOQL. So if I will open a field usage for my opportunity.amount and open Apex classes, I believe that somewhere, yep, so somewhere we have used it in the SOQL query and the Welkin Suite found it. So here's my SOQL query, and here we have opportunity.amount, and it pointed us that it's used here in the query. So yeah, we search in SOQL, and in terms of dynamically created code, I will just need to recheck, and maybe I'll get back to you later, Roberta, sorry. So looks like that's it, guys. Thank you very much for your time and attention today. You can always contact me in Twitter or like via our forums or at info@welkinsuite.com. I will be happy to answer everything, like all of your questions. And I'm looking forward to talking with you next week at the same time. We will chat about bulk creation of fields and some bulk activities around fields for subjects. So I will try to fit it into 20 minutes, and yeah, I will really try. So thank you very much, and see all of you guys next week. Hope it was helpful. Bye-bye.